Hello everyone, I'm Brandon Boniffer and welcome to another edition of OnFocus. Today we are with Derek Backus of Stainless Repair here in Marshfield. Derek, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
So over the last couple of years, I have taken notice, and I'm sure others have. You guys out on 29th Street have done a lot of growth and expansion.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about what you guys have been doing out there.
Yeah, well, I think we moved out there. It's going to be 22 years now since we moved out there. We started with about 6 acres of property, and we put up about a 10,000 square foot facility. And out of that facility, we had we were manufacturing milk trucks and fire trucks, and then started to mess a little bit with truck equipment. But from that point forward, in about 1997, we moved. As we grew, we just needed more space, more buildings. So eventually, we added to one building, and then added to that same building again. So there's about 3-4 expansions that went on there. Pretty soon, we started to buy more land, and the last probably 5-6 years, we've really expanded. We ended up buying the building to the east of us. That building now caters to just dedicated to building flatbed, specialized flatbeds that go to Florida. And then last year, local contractor came in and built another building for us. That is completely for our fire apparatus manufacturing. So we moved them out of our main building into another main building and equipped them over there. So in the main building now, we're building manufacturing stainless steel sanitary tanks and truck equipment. So municipal plow trucks to dump trucks to other platforms, service bodies, that nature. So I think we got 26 acres and 43,000 square foot of manufacturing facility, and employ a lot of people.
Well, and it's not always about who you employ too, it's the other businesses in the area that you help support too.
Absolutely. We do a lot of stuff with, especially our local truck dealers here in town. We work hand in hand. Just up the road, Midstate Truck is sitting right there. By using those guys not only for their trucks and pairing with them to put our bodies on, and this is really what we do, is it's bodies. We build bodies for trucks. We don't build the trucks, but so the bodies, and we put those together. But using those dealers or that network here in town is awesome. We use machine shops here in town. We use distributors here in town. We obviously it goes on and on of what we're doing here in the community.
So when you talk about building bodies,
Yep.
When I think of building bodies, I think of the fire trucks and the
Yep.
tenders, and I think of,
Yep.
you mentioned milk trucks
Yep.
and that nature. You're really
Yep.
customizing that truck
Yep.
to fit the need of whoever your customer is.
That's huge. I mean, to be honest with you, because we are not a cookie cutter. So we're not GM or not Ford, where you have just a package. So if you want to order something, you got package A, B, or C. We literally sit down with anybody. I don't care if it's just that single milk hauler, to the fire guy, to the fire committee, to, it doesn't matter, dump truck guy. We've got fleets of dump trucks. But we're able to sit down with them and say, look, we can build it this way, and we can manufacture it. So we have the equipment, so we can build it like this. Well, I would like to tweak this or that. Yeah, not a problem. We can do that. So in a process, when you talk like a fire truck, this is huge. Some of these projects are 400, 500, 600,000, 1,500-hour projects. So you have the ability for a department and their committee to come in at any time. We've always had an open door policy. It has never been shut. You want to come, you can walk into that facility, see your truck being built, no matter what process it is in. You come in and see us. It may not be even on the floor, but come in and see us anyway. We can take you through and show you some things of a truck that maybe isn't yours, but you can see, oh, I like that. So in that process, if you say, I want, that cabinet is wrong, can I put a shelf, or can I? Yeah, we can do that. There's not a big change order here. We don't have to, it's not outside the package. We'll just build it that way.
And customize
So
it.
customize, and that is what and that's what's kind of made us here today, between that and our service. And a lot of the people that we had come that are customers end up being our friends. And they end up saying, wow, I will never go anywhere else, because when I have something that's broke, these guys will go and fix it. No matter if it's a Saturday or Sunday. If you go down there, you'll see vehicles in there all the time, because call up and I said, I broke down, can I get some help? Yeah. When we'll still run in, we'll put some parts up for you, we'll do whatever we can do. So there's a lot of little fingers that are going on there that has helped us grow to where we are today, but not forgetting the family aspect. Because there's still my father's there every day. I have my 2 brothers, myself, but it's so family oriented. And when you deal with people, they all have families, so you treat them like that. And I think that's what really brings people to us.
And you talk about people, you talk about families. Obviously, there's relationships that are involved in that.
Yeah.
And Marshfield is a very close-knit community.
Yeah.
And you guys made a recent investment, and you made a number of them over the last few years, but you made a recent one in your fire apparatus facility.
Yeah.
What made you guys take that leap of faith?
It's a good question, actually. really outgrew the area of the facility that we're in. So as my father, as he has gotten to that age where he is retiring, he's like, that's just a big investment, and do I really want to do this in my stage of my life? Like, oh, Dad, I said, we've got orders. We've got a lot of orders from just throughout the whole state and even outside of our state. I said, I think we need to do and take a look at this. So we did. We made the investment to purchase land and build a new building. And not only the building, but the equipment that comes with it. So shears, press brakes, the offices, everything. It is a complete standalone building. So that facility was not just like adding to another building and you're pulling off the resources that you have. This now has all new welders. It has all new, shear, that equipment that goes with it. Right down to forklifts.
And obviously, you went to make that investment if you didn't have confidence in your own abilities to be in the fire apparatus business.
Absolutely.
So how long have you guys been doing fire apparatuses, and what's your area of interest in that?
I would say, to go back, we've been here since '73. Back in the late '70s, we probably started with fire trucks. So tenders are called tankers back then, but they're different. They were built. They just took a milk truck, they brought it in, we threw a couple red lights on it, threw a dump on it, and out the door it went. That's what you did. That's all townships and communities had money for. So they bought the mill color's old truck and we did some conversions. But as we worked through the 80s and probably into 90, it really got to be more about being compliant with NFPA and making sure that we have building the right apparatus the way that industry is governed. They don't have a strict law that says here you have to build like a car, you have to build it to Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standards. In the fire industry, there's really not per se that, but there is NFPA who puts out book upon book upon book that says, look, you have to build it. This is our recommendations. So you live by it because that's really kind of the Bible. So probably back in that 80s, 90s or that area, so okay, we really want to step up our game and not only just build tankers, but then we kind of moved into a pumper tanker, which has a pump on it and it hauls water. So then the next natural progression from there is we got into engines. And then outside of that, you have all these little UTVs and rescue vehicles. There's all kinds of other little stuff that we do. So we offer just about everything that can be built except the ladder truck. That is something that we just don't do. So almost everything that's in a firehouse we can do.
You may do that at one point, though.
We never know. We actually were approached by a company that will build the ladder portion of it. So they have the truck and the ladder portion. You guys build the body. We want you to build the body. But we're just not comfortable doing that right now. And at this point we've got good orders, and let's just focus on what we know how to do, and let's keep doing that. So not only do we invest in the business or the equipment, but we've been investing in people also. So you've got the right people that are facilitating what we need to do there and build a good unit.
And speaking of good units, there's also good departments.
Yeah.
And tell me, kind of in short, around Marshall we have McMillan, we have Spencer. Yep. Have you ever had the opportunity to do any tenders or any engines for any of those?
Every one of them. You can run right around this whole perimeter of Marshfield, and we have units, and not just one unit, but multiple units in almost every department that's here. And if we haven't had the opportunity to get a unit in, because you have to understand, a truck you build, and a fire truck, is supposed to last 20 to 25 years. Sometimes when you don't have the money or the funds, that 25 years turns to 30 to turns to 35. Pretty soon, you're only buying, if you have 4 trucks, you're buying, 4 goes into 30 years. It's pretty simple math. How many times are you going to buy a truck, or what kind of truck it is? So if we haven't had the opportunity to get a new unit in there, we have the opportunity to at least do their service and repairs or their pump testing. So that's kind of neat.
And that's got to be huge for their bottom line as well as their confidence in the rig.
Absolutely. And one of the neatest things in this, because it is so community oriented, and we are still a family, we go ahead, every one of these departments then, they come to us for their pancake feeds and their donations. Hey, can you donate this, or we got a raffle coming up? Absolutely. I mean, that's who we are, because it's just that's what we do. Because it is, every dollar they can save, that goes right back into that fund to buy a truck, or goes back into equipment or gear or whatever it is. So we're huge supporters, and I don't think there's any fire department in this area that will say, wow, they didn't donate to us. I think they're pretty much all will say, yeah, they do something for us all the time.
So Derek, bringing the light a little bit, not too long ago, I think it was 5 or 6 years ago, the city of Marshfield really looked at their apparatuses. Mm-hmm. And they basically said, you know what, we need to put together a schedule of all the different equipment that we have. And the very first piece of equipment they replaced was the ladder truck.
Yep.
At the time, you guys didn't have the capabilities, and today you're still not interested in ladder trucks.
No.
But there is an engine that's on the line. It's been in service for way past its life expectancy. Matter of fact, one of the big things that I hear is the safety of that.
Absolutely.
Some people call it the yellow bumblebee.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
when that a vehicle or that apparatus was manufactured, it didn't have seatbelts.
Nope.
The fire department has installed seatbelts then,
Yeah.
and it has an open cab concept. Well, obviously in Wisconsin, especially
Like
yeah, especially in the winter, that would be a little bit frigid. But also the safety concern is what happened if the fire truck or engine in this case is responding and get in an accident. Rollovers
Yep.
happen all the time. So I have to ask you, as the city has went through this plan, has the city reached out to you, someone that's in their own backyard?
Absolutely. We have been dealing with them, and my sales staff, and not me personally, but my sales staff has been dealing with them, and I'm probably over a year. Because as this project gets going and stuff, obviously we do repairs and service for Marshfield Fire Department, and we do a very good job. You know, something breaks, they call us, it comes out, we get it in, we get it fixed. If we can't get it fixed right away, we'll do something temporary to at least get it back online for them, so it's in station and it's back in-house. But then we'll get it back out and fix it. So we got a great relationship, at least with the repairs and the service side of it, and I think we've even been complimented from the people at the fire department. So wow, this is awesome. We can just run it a mile and a half out here to you guys, and it's done.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've been working with them right along the way of this whole project, of this upcoming engine, going, wow, this is awesome. We get to represent Marshfield. We get to represent our own hometown. And as a family, again, I'm going, okay, guys, we're going after this with everything we got. I'm going to take whatever discounts I can do and reach out to manufacturers and even our own manufacturing facility and say, look, we're going to do what we can to make sure we get this bid.
So speaking of the bid, let's just touch on that for a second. Were you informed by the city if you were rewarded the bid on this new engine?
Yes, we were.
And was that a promising outcome?
No, it is not. We were told that even though we were low bid, that we will not be receiving it.
You were a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Just pause on that for a second. I mean, that's not something you usually hear, that you're a little bit and you're not.
Usually don't. So, you know, as we try to investigate a little bit of on our own and try to figure out, hey, what's going on, or we don't understand it. We know that we had to take exception on the bid because when they sent that bid packet out, it was a bid that was done by the other manufacturer. So that proposal wasn't put together by the fire department. And even admittedly, they told us, look, we're going to use Pierce Manufacturing. That's the spec we're using. We're sitting back going, we can't meet spec then. They'll have 120 pages, and I'll guarantee you there's stuff we can't meet, period. We as a manufacturer can't, and quite honestly, most others won't either.
When you say can't meet spec, I mean, someone that's not in the fire apparatus business, I think could not meet spec. I think not meet quality.
Right, no, not at all. They'll write, like I said, it's 120 pages. This is how long the bid specifications are. So, and down in the 120 pages, you got a column to check either yes, you meet it. So every paragraph, could be one sentence, all these line items, you have to put yes or no. So as soon as you check no one time, you could be rejected from the bid.
So what are some of the things that are included? Like, is it the lighting, LED, comfort controls?
Yeah, you've got a lot of everything. Everything. The truck is essentially built from this spec.
So it's not necessarily the capability of that truck. It's the design and engineering.
It's design, engineering, and along with the company that gets brought in. So in this particular case, you have, I don't know, maybe 5 to 10 pages of just what the company who bids this or wants to build it has to meet the specs. When you deal with a multi-million, billion-dollar company, Oshkosh Truck, they're pretty big. They're going to write a spec that will spec almost everybody out. Proof in the pudding is when you look at the number of bids that came in with this, we were the only other one that bid.
And how many other industries?
I believe there were 6 total that were sent out, 5 or 6 that were sent out. Why wouldn't anybody else bid? It's an engine. We all build engines. Why wouldn't anybody else bid? When you pick up the packet and you read it, it is specific to Pierce Manufacturing. So to spend the amount of time and effort to put this bid together, it is a lot of man hours, a lot of drawing, the engineering that goes into it to put it out there. It costs us thousands of dollars to do it. But it's our hometown, and we've dealt with the department. They're like, yeah, we really love your service and we want you to do it. Awesome, but you understand, we can't meet this specific. You know, you're asking for this. We can't hit this one, but we can give you this equivalent or even better. Or this design, our manufacturing process doesn't build it like this. We may have stainless instead of aluminum. You're requesting aluminum, but we're using stainless. That's what we're going to do. No, it doesn't meet specs. You have to you check the no.
So let's talk about that for a second. So this other company, they built their own spec.
Yeah.
Basically their own recipe for building that machine and quoting that machine
Absolutely.
out. How does a fire department, because you probably have to provide specs
Mhm.
to get a bid,
Right.
how does a fire department go about getting a spec or a drawing or something that they can submit that goes out to the
That's fair.
That's fair.
You can use a third party.
Okay.
A lot of the communities around here, so the smaller fire departments, they literally will bring quotes in from multiple vendors, meet with multiple vendors, manufacturers, and then they will pick and choose, and they'll pull, I want to take this and this and this. But if they want to make it fair, they'll remove the portions that we require this specific brand of light. Now, if you have a light package in your right now in your department, yeah, we want to keep that specific.
I have
light
different
package.
light bulbs in this office.
Yeah, well, okay. So
they all illuminate the same.
They all illuminate the same, exactly. But sometimes you'll keep some stock items on the shelf. So I really want Whalen lights or something. Okay, we understand that. But don't make it so specific when you get down to the truck itself. It would be like taking a Ford and a Chevy and saying, okay, the trucks are essentially the same, right? I mean, if they have the same specs, the same 2500 series, right? But I want that specific radio, or I want that specific horn, and that name brand. Well, as a manufacturer, we have deals with certain manufacturers. So let's say like a roll-up door. We use a certain kind because that's who we stick with, and that's where we get the best bang for a buck. Great quality. Not saying the quality is any different, worse or less than all the other ones. All right? But another company may use one other one. So if they write that specific door company in there, we have to check no, because if I got to go bid that door, it's going to be a lot more costlier. Doesn't do a service to the department because I got to charge more money, and it doesn't do service to us because we're really loyal to maybe one brand because they're maybe better service or we believe it's better quality. So when we design the truck, and it's based on the department, and I don't care what department it is, but that's what's neat about being small is what do you want?
Mm-hmm.
And we'll build it. We believe we build a better truck than anybody.
So I want to be devil's advocate here for a second. I'm Marshland Fire Department. Do you have any idea? You said you were the low bid.
Mm-hmm.
Were we talking $5,000, $10,000, $50,000?
I think if you did the numbers, it originally it ended around $60,000 cheaper.
Okay.
And then I think it kind of dwindled down a little bit towards like 50-some thousand. There are some things on the spec that we missed. But we were never afforded the opportunity. So all these exceptions, we were never afforded the opportunity to sit down with the fire department and the committee to say, look, we checked no, but this is why we checked no. And we checked no on this one because it's an upgrade. We definitely missed this one. So we were never afforded the ability to go and say, look, we can make these changes. And if you want to call the other bidders or bidder in and sit with them too, I mean, that's great, but at least allow us the ability to do this, to come in and say, look, this is why we believe this is better or worse, but that's a big portion. We were never allotted that at all.
And then the next question I have is obviously, fire department can claim that they can be pretty much anywhere in Marshfield in less than 4.5 minutes.
Yeah.
We can't drive that fast, but
No.
they got lights and sirens, so they can do so. But you've already made allusion to the fact that they come to you for service.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's just say that they would go through Pierce to have this engine.
Mm-hmm.
Is it likely that you would service it?
Absolutely.
Is it fair to say that if you were to service your own piece of equipment that you built, the cost to repair it would be less because you're more familiar with it?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I guess the last question I kind of going down this road is when you look at this particular engine and you talk about $50,000, you talk about being someone in your own community, someone that has made an investment.
Yeah.
You pay property taxes.
Yeah.
And I have to imagine the fire department comes through your office no different than mine every 6 months.
Absolutely.
They see your setup.
Yep.
Why were you told that you wouldn't have the option to have a conversation with them about why the spec was different, especially when you came in last?
That's a good question. We were told, to explain exceptions, we were told that it wouldn't be fair to the other bidder. I don't know why it wouldn't be. Then bring the other bidder in because they had a couple exceptions also. So if you've got exceptions, you got to get explanation from them also because now both parties have exceptions. So I mean, somebody's got to explain the exceptions. So that kind of covers the point of after the fact. I guess it's hard to explain. Hard to put a point. Why couldn't we do a few other things? Why couldn't our spec be the spec that was sent out? Why couldn't we write the spec?
Mm-hmm. And that raises another question too. You talk about you being more involved in the process. This is the second apparatus that the City of Marshfield has or is going to make a
Right.
huge
Right.
investment. And these aren't things you put in circulation. The police department, they purchased cars in their SUVs or trucks for their patrol cars, and they're in circulation for 3 or 4 years, and then they're rotated out.
Yep.
They're making an investment for the next 25
Yeah,
years.
absolutely.
This is the second piece in that plan that they're putting
Yeah.
out there. And from conversations that we've had with the fire department, the previous investment they made in T1, the ladder truck,
Yeah.
has had a lot of service issues.
Yeah, big time.
And to a point where they even tried getting a return.
Yeah.
I have to assume, being you are 4.5 miles away,
Yeah.
and you having all the reputation you do in the other departments, you would stand behind your
Oh
own
my
product.
God. Why wouldn't we? I mean, we're in the community. And would make sure, and no, I don't care whose apparatus goes down. And things are mechanical, they're going to break. Now, whether it's mechanical, something mechanically broke, or if it was a workmanship or design flaw, that gets brought in immediately. And you fix it and figure out how to fix it. Now, having our own city and a piece of equipment in our own city that we don't have a piece of equipment in, this is the time for us to really say, look, guys, we've proven the service to you. Bring it here. If something's wrong, we'll fix it. And we'll go to no ends to make sure it gets fixed and get it back in the department. It's all about community pride now. Now it's about, look, they're doing their job out there. They're doing what it takes to make sure it's right. I'm not in a different state or 2 states over. You don't have to take it there. You can bring it here. It's so simple. We're right here.
And Derek, that's another great point. Being community oriented. I have to ask this question too: is in business everything is fair. Business is business.
Yeah.
And the city definitely has to watch its own dollars.
Yeah.
It definitely has to make decisions that's best for the community. So let's just say all aside, the city was to make a decision not to go with you, and they had their reasons.
Hmm?
If you had a fair shot to understand the reasons and be a part of that process, is that fair?
That's fair. Absolutely. I agree with that. We could sit down and we can go over it and say, look, this is something that you can't build or it's outside of our realm, but these are things we build all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like you're asking me to build a ladder truck. That was asked. No, we don't want nothing to do with that. That's not what we do here. But we've been building this. We can do this. This is nothing special.
So council's meeting here on Tuesday, and part of that consent agenda will be approving the purchase.
Yeah.
What are you asking from the community in particular?
I'd like the community just to know the process that went through here. And I'd like the community to stand behind us as a local manufacturer going, hey, what happened with the process? I'm not asking somebody to overturn it and say, okay, they just need it because it wasn't right, give it to them. I want to earn it on merit, and I want to earn it because we went out and earned it. And apparently we haven't done our job to earn it for some reason, and I don't understand why. But up to this point, the process in the spec that we could never meet, or to be honest, a lot of people can't meet this spec. The manufacturers, they can't. You're going to have to take exceptions. So that's wrong. And affording the ability to have us come back in and at least explain exceptions, I don't understand why that can't take place.
And throughout the last year, we've had a new mayor. And one thing that Bob McManus has definitely told the community is he's been more about communications, more about transparency. Do you feel that there's been a good communication process, at least on this particular bid, between you and the fire department?
When we got to the point of bidding, absolutely. They were, we walked hand in hand with these guys and asking, this is what we want, this is what we're looking for. And Brian, my salesman, he was there a lot. And along with his counterpart, who was in purchasing, Dustin, they were there a ton of times taking notes. We took units to them. We took pictures of the unit they were bidding, said, look, this is not kind of what you guys are looking at. Look at these pictures. Is this what you want? And so they walked with us. But until you got to the point where the spec came out, and it's another manufacturer's spec, it's pretty clear something went sideways here at the end. And when that happened, then the transparency kind of went away. Then just mark no, or if you can't make the bid, put the exception in there and we'll take a look at it. Well, as soon as we put the no on there, I guess that meant no.
Okay. Well, it'll be interesting to see what council decides
Right.
here. And if you're at home watching, I'm sure that you would open up any questions. And
No,
if you as an individual have any questions about the process that's taking place in the city, there's multiple meetings that take place, and you're always available to tune in. MCTV does a great job broadcasting a lot of those meetings. Derek, what does 2019 look like for you? What are you excited for?
It's a good year. I mean, it really is. We're busy. The economy is definitely going, and we always say when the trucks are on the road and they're moving, everything's moving. So we've been fortunate to have a great year last year. We're busy again this year. Finding help is always an issue. I mean, good quality help. So that probably holds us back a little bit, from our expansions and what we're doing. But overall, we're good. I mean, it's a great place. Obviously we love this community. There's a lot of good talent here, and there's a lot of good people, and a lot of backing from the people that are around us. So we like it. It's a good deal.
You're on 29th Street.
Yeah.
Last year.
That's open. That's open.
That's open now.
I'll be honest. The city did a great job. We're dealing with Dan Connect, and when the project was going, it was bad. You couldn't find us. It was hard to get 2 signs. And we're like, oh my goodness. But Dan, can we put some of our own signage up? Dan's like, go ahead. They worked with us. This city worked with us, and the engineer that they had hired on this project was phenomenal to make sure that we were able to get to or to sign it, whatever we needed. They did. So I mean, kudos to them. Yes, it was a long project, but they got a late start and they still finished on time from what their time frame was. So no complaints whatsoever there. Just phenomenal work with them.
Well, and I gotta imagine every time someone buys a new vehicle and they roll off your yard and they roll onto a new road,
it's nice.
It's a nice thing to see.
Yeah.
And what's great about that particular project in general too is, Treeweiler, local company, been here for a long time.
Absolutely.
They got to be involved in the process.
Another neat thing, Haas, who was doing most of the general on it, all the dump. They buy their equipment from Stainless and Repair. Their dump bodies they put on their trucks are Stainless and Repair equipment. So maybe outside the community a little bit, but how great is that? I mean, and we're able to deal with those guys too. And as things changed along the project, we were able to use local people here. We need our driveway redone and this and that. So we brought in people from our own community. Hey, redo this dirt work or do that. It's all about the community and what we did together to get it done. And then of course the city worked and Haas. They all worked together to facilitate us keeping our business open and redoing that driveway or this driveway or that concrete, because when Treeweiler came through, we had them do some stuff, pour more concrete. Awesome, got it done. The road was being done. It all worked out.
So, last question I have for you, and I think one that you at home want to know. End of the day, your bid came in less.
Yeah.
But there takes a lot of labor that goes into building these trucks.
Yeah.
And your staff is from our area.
Yeah.
Your staff has homes here.
Yep.
They have families here.
Yep.
They're paying into the community.
Yep.
How many payroll dollars really are getting reinvested back in the community by doing the project with you?
That's a good question. I think we sat down to a little penning the other day and I said, just taking a look at the hours it takes to build a truck. So we're not just talking a truck that's going to take a couple hundred hours. This truck is well over 1,000 man hours to put together. And we start doing some numbers on that. We looked at 6 figures of that community dollars that are getting paid out in those wages and what is being charged out there for just the hours, labors.
So we're looking at spending $50,000 over there
Yeah.
and sending $100,000 plus
Out
a payroll outside of our community.
Along with the other community players that we use in our process, they're not included in that labor. Those are where we get things painted or where we get machine work done, and they're benefits of this too. Well, won't be benefits of it, I guess.
Well, I would encourage, if you're at home and you're council, you need to ask some questions. I think the city needs to ask some questions. Why are we doing what we're doing, and have we made all the right steps? If we have, I think
great.
we
Absolutely.
can do
Yep.
due diligence with
Yep.
that. I'm Brandon Bono for OnFocus. Derek, thank you for stepping
I
today.
appreciate it.
I congratulate you guys on your growth in the last few years.
you.
And
Thank
look forward to seeing where you go in the future.
Yeah.
For everyone at home, thank you for tuning in. If you like what we're doing, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you guys in the next episode.